I'm about to do a show. I have to talk to the people. Get down. I need you to get down. I'm about to talk to the people. Get down. He doesn't want to get down. Get down. Go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you might be listening to this. This is your favorite fanalist from the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel, Sudden Death. Hello. Welcome back. Today, I want to talk about why the Ravens need Todd Monken in order to succeed in the future. Make sure you leave a thumbs up on this video before we get into anything, and also subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. We'd appreciate that. I don't want to mince any more words. Let's just get into it. Rain Gang, let's go. Success in the NFL is often determined by a delicate balance of talent, coaching, and execution. But there is one underrated factor that separates consistent contenders from teams that stumble year after year. And that's coaching continuity. And for the Baltimore Ravens specifically, this philosophy might just be the key to their future success. Let me explain. So as the Ravens actively consider extending offensive coordinator Todd Monken beyond his current tenure, it raises a very important question. Why is it so critical to retain coordinators for multiple seasons? And what does history tell us about the impact of continuity on a team's success? Coaching continuity simply brings consistency to a football team. It allows players to master the playbook, develop trust in their coaches, and refine execution. Every new coordinator means something different, right? It means starting from scratch. New schemes, new terminology, and an entirely new identity. And while most talented players can adapt pretty quickly, it's the teams that build long-term stability that truly thrive in this league. I think this is especially crucial for the Baltimore Ravens, especially having a head coach in John Harbaugh. His expertise is in special teams, not offense, not defense, but special teams. Unlike offensive or defensive-minded head coaches like Andy Reid, the Bill Belichicks of the world, John Harbaugh leans very, very heavily on his coordinators to find the identity of his offense and his defense for the Baltimore Ravens. And in my personal opinion, this makes retaining Todd Monken all the more important. And I think the 2024 season for the Baltimore Ravens serves as a very cautionary tale for this. In Todd Monken's second year, so this past season as offensive coordinator for the Ravens lost several early regular season games to weaker teams. Problem was they spent way too much time trying to find their identity, and it cost them critical late season playoff seeding. Now, I do know that's more of an indictment on Zach Orr because the Ravens defense was struggling a lot more than the Ravens offense earlier in that season. But it just adds to my point. Any new coach you bring in, there's going to be growing pains. When you have a Super Bowl window like the Ravens do, you don't have time for growing pains. And as you guys know, when new coordinators are brought in, teams often start very slow as players adjust to the new system. In a competitive division like the AFC North, and more specifically the AFC Conference in general, early season losses can mean the difference between hosting playoff games or missing the postseason entirely. Let's contrast this with teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, for example. Their offensive continuity under Andy Reid and even former offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy helped them establish one of the most dominant offensive identities in the NFL's history. I mean, year after year after year, the Chiefs hit the ground running with no feeling out process. This is because they do a really good job at retaining their coaches. You can look at Steve Spagnuolo for another really good example of them retaining a coach over the years. I believe this consistency and this identity that the Kansas City Chiefs have, I think that's why they've been so successful, and that's why they've been to multiple Super Bowls in the past couple of years. And historically, even the Ravens have had some stability at their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator position. So back in 2019, as you guys remember, Greg Roman was the offensive coordinator for a couple of years with us, paired alongside with Don Wink Martindale as well on the defensive side of things. And during that time, while the Ravens did not reach a Super Bowl, they had a very, very clear identity in what they wanted to do. And that led to a lot of really, really good seasons. So it was a run-heavy offense powered by the likes of Lamar Jackson and others, then also a blitz-heavy defense coordinated by Don Wink Martindale. Those teams wasted less time kind of finding their footing during the season, which again can lead to early regular season losses, which can come back to bite you in the ass in the postseason. Excuse my language. Anyway, getting back to Todd Monken though, Todd Monken's offensive scheme showed flashes of absolute brilliance in 2024, particularly in the second half of the season. Lamar Jackson thrived in a balanced passing attack with the running attack also complementing it as well. I think something really cool to reference is Lamar Jackson's playoff stats exclusively under Todd Monken. In the 2 playoff games played in 2023, Lamar Jackson had a 61% completion percentage, 424 yards of offense, 3 touchdowns to 1 interception, with a 93 passer rating. In the 2 games of the 2024 playoffs, Lamar Jackson had a 73.9% completion percentage, 429 yards of offense, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. By the way, with a passer rating of 122.5. And I really do believe that this progression underscores the positive impact of continuity in the offensive system for the Baltimore Ravens. However, as I've said before, starting slow is not an option for a team who's currently in their Super Bowl window. While late season surges are important, like we saw this past year in 2024, in the modern NFL, seeding matters way more than before. Only one team gets a first round bye in the playoffs. Only one team gets home field advantage throughout the playoffs. We saw in Buffalo in that divisional round loss this past season, home field advantage matters. So to avoid repeating the mistakes of the past, I think that the Ravens really need to prioritize continuity with their coordinators. Make sure that Monken's system is fully implemented and refined going into 2025. And retaining coordinators like Todd Monken is not just about one season, it's about building a winning culture. And that's exactly what the Baltimore Ravens need right now. Historically, teams like the Chiefs, like I mentioned before, the Patriots, the 49ers, they have all proven that consistency in coaching leads to long-term success. And for the Ravens, retaining Todd Monken would mean giving Lamar Jackson and this offense that has Derrick Henry and so many other pieces the stability they need to thrive. So the philosophy is very, very simple, guys. Stability leads to mastery. Mastery leads to success. Success in the NFL starts with the coaching staff. So to wrap it all up, as the Ravens look forward to 2025, keeping Todd Monken could be the very first step towards cementing themselves as perennial contenders this upcoming season. Because in the NFL, consistency is not just a luxury, it is an absolute necessity. But I want to know what you think. Do you think that the Ravens are making the right move in considering extending Todd Monken? Do you think that they need to move on from Todd Monken? And let me know why below in the comments. But until next time, again, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy the content you just witnessed. But again, until next time, this is your boy Sutton Def, your favorite fanalist from the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.